Namaste programs and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator Grand Alpine Challenge. Leg 5, Wildeburg to Hofen, let's go. Yes, we're on the end of this little laughably referred to as a runway. Let's see, we want 103, so let's go. Oh, bicycle, they're facing the wrong way. Do we need fuel? No, I think we'll be okay. Mercifully, this is only a 20-minute flight, so hopefully, even if there are game crashes today, it won't be too annoying. Unlike yesterday's epic debacle. Alright, so we want 103 for 5:35. Oberstdorfen. In the air again, fly east-southeast to Oberstdorfen, a southern Bavarian town. Conveniently located in southern Bavaria, where we are. Go 103-ish. I'm guessing we're going to need to climb. It is an Alpine bush trip after all. 5 minutes 35. Alright, strap in. We've got a fair way to go. The plane's trying to figure out whether it wants to climb or fall. Let's have a look here. Okay, 10 there, 15 there. We'll stay on the right side, I think. So we're always automatically on the left. It doesn't save from the previous leg. Beautiful sunrise over southern Bavaria. Let's have a look around. Very nice, very good, very pretty. Everyone's sort of yawning and getting up, starting their day at 6:57 a.m, which, let me tell you, I don't think I've seen 6:57 a.m. IRL for years now. That's real early. We must ask ourselves the question, how high is high enough? Probably need to be at, I mean, it looks like we're heading towards those mountains over there, so... And they're looking at least 6,000 or 7,000 feet high, so we'll keep climbing. Maybe it doesn't need to be quite so severe. Let's trim down to maybe plus 10%. See how that goes. Continue our attempts to get to 103 degrees. Which seems to be causing issues right now. There we go. How we doing, little town, village, farms? Good, good. Waking up, feeding the pigs. Lovely. Make some nice Bavarian beer and sausages. Big town over to the left. You know what? I think I'm going to trim to 0. We're still climbing at probably not a rate that's entirely needed. English today is failing me. Such is the way of the tongue. We've done 4 minutes, so is this the town over on our left here, perhaps? Oberstdorfen? We've only been doing 90 knots airspeed, so I feel like, well look, we'll wait till we get to 5:35, that's still another minute away. And we'll decide whether there's another town off in the distance somewhere. Doesn't really look like it. We're just going to hit the mountains. So this could be it. Maybe. No, we've still got another minute to go, so just under a minute now. Maybe it's this one up on the hill. They have been given no landmarks or indications of what it could be or where it could be, just southern Bavarian town. Narrowed it down perfectly in this glut of southern Bavarian towns that we have arrayed in front of us. Alright, we're about to hit 5:35. I'm going to assume it's one of these towns here. I don't know if I feel like I'm high enough either, but I think I'll trim maybe to, let's go -10. See what that does to our general well-being. I think I'm going to turn. I think I'm going to turn to 77 degrees for 2 minutes 58. On our way to Grosse Alpsee, 6.3 nautical miles to the east-northeast lies Grosse Alpsee, a gorgeous lake. Well, I can see the lake. There it is. There it is. You can't hide from me, gorgeous lake. We'll go our 77 degrees, although that seems to be taking us not quite to the lake, but perhaps it's the lake on the left there. Although, no, it's only 3 minutes of flying, so I wonder if this was the town, actually. We'll see. Even if it takes more than 3 minutes, we'll turn at the lake rather than on the time, because, you know, who knows where we're at time-wise. And I think it's fairly safe to continue. I want to trim a little bit more so that we're at level flight. Yet again up here in the stratosphere. The airspeed's pretty good, but the actual, well, the true airspeed's good, which I think is basically the ground speed, really. But the airspeed of the air going over the wings is much lower, because there's less air. Yeah, you know what? I reckon that down there was probably the town, whose name escapes me already. Oberstaufen, there we go. And then this would have been 3 minutes to the lake. Because we've already done 1:44, so over half. And yet I don't think we're going to make it to the lake in the next minute and a half. So I turned a bit early. And then if I had turned there, 77 degrees would have been more accurate. Little things take you off course. Well, that's the fun of it. Then again, you know, you're in the air. The landmarks are huge. Even if you're off course by a couple of kilometres, it's not a real issue. You'll find the airport eventually. We always have. In before this is the first leg I can't find the airport. Alright, let's fly down this valley, say hi to everyone on our way to the lake. Look, we're about to hit 2:30, another 20 seconds, but I am going to turn when we get to the lake. Climbing a bit, so we'll trim down even more, maybe even to -16. There we go. Oh, the extravagance. This dude down here's got a swimming pool in the middle of the Alps, an outdoor swimming pool. Brave of you, boy. It's probably extremely hot here in the summer. I mean, just because it's up in a high doesn't necessarily mean it's cold. There's less atmosphere between you and the sun. Anyone who's gone skiing knows full well it's bloody hot work. Unless you're in a blizzard or something. Alright, nearly at the lake. What a gorgeous view. What a gorgeous lake. Just gorges everywhere. Oh, and there's a hidden, rather large town behind the lake, behind the hill, behind the mountain. What you doing there, little town? Waking up to the call of the rooster? The dawn cock, so to speak? Alright. I'll wait till we're over the lake, just to be sure. To be sure, to be sure. Amazing. Look at this. Ain't it beautiful? Alright, good enough, I reckon. We want 153 to 553. Aghau High Alps Nature Reserve. Turn southeast and fly to the Aghau High Alps Nature Reserve, one of the most beautiful destinations in Germany. Are we high enough though? I think we might be. I think we might be. These German Alps just aren't as tall as the old Swiss ones. Go back to 15. Come on, 153. Now I'm playing. Let's just get round to it. Real large town that's almost all connected, unlike everywhere else around here. They've spread out and actually joined their neighbours rather than keeping each little pod separate. We'll allow a little bit of a climb. I'm a bit concerned. Let's see, let's put the... Yeah, I think we're probably just below those mountains in front, so we need to be a bit higher. In case that's where the Alps Nature Reserve is, the Aghau. Aghau? Not sure how to pronounce it. I apologise, as always, for my horrific pronunciation of things. Now I figured out what's going on. I didn't really raise the flaps. That's why you've all been screaming at the screen. Yeah. Well, you can stop your screaming. I heard you. From the future. The reason I wasn't checking that is because I am sure I pressed the flap button earlier. I'm sure of it, but I guess it didn't register. And I didn't do my due diligence and check on the UI that it actually raised the flaps. What fresh disasters can I bring to this particular bush trip challenge? New ways of finding an ending to it every single leg. We've done nearly 3 minutes of nearly 6 minutes, so halfway there. I assume this nature reserve is actually up in the mountains and not something that's down in the valley, given it says High Alps as part of its name. But then again, maybe this whole region is the High Alps. We are in the Alps, even the valley is in the Alps, and up high. But who knows? Lakes over on that mountain over there that are very precariously placed. How do they just sit there? You'd think one mudslide and the whole thing would fall down into the valley. Bunch of little towns all over the place. Bunch of little rivers, creeks, roads, no football fields, no golf courses. And yeah, the ability to see a church seems to have gone from the game. They must have removed them. There must have been a complaint that all the churches were traditional Christian spirey kinds or something. And like, we better get it out of the game because certain churches that aren't like that are being rendered the wrong way. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe, hey, there's a football field right there. Right, you little sneaky bastard. There's probably even a church, having said all that. I can't remember an actual non-3D rendered church that I've seen in my travels to go check whether it's still there in the latest updates. So yeah, I'll just assume that there's been some change to the modelling system that doesn't do the little spiry churches anymore. Unless Germany just doesn't have those kind of things, so it's not in the Germany models, and Switzerland and Austria. This part of the world. Cool town. Lake up in the hills there. Nice river running through it. Football field. Yeah. Nice little greens in the middle there. Little parks. I'm all about it. Alright, well in 30 seconds we're meant to turn, so maybe this is the nature reserve here with its little lake and its... Yeah, I reckon it would be actually. One of the most beautiful destinations in Germany. Well, I can imagine that. I can imagine being up here in the mountains, having a splash in the lake, little resort cabins and things. I think that's where we are. Beautiful. And we've just hit our time, so I'm going to turn to 76 degrees for 6 minutes 4 seconds. And we're on our way to the Lech River. Aim north-northeast, passing into Austria, and fly over the Lech River, a tributary to the Danube. Or as I like to call it, in honor of us, Danube. Yes, viewer, I put you into the category of noob. Everyone's a noob in my book. Are we high enough? Alright, 6 minutes. So this way, in 6 minutes, is some river somewhere. Possibly. We hope. What a beautiful view. What an absolutely stunning vista. I feel like I think we're just at the height of that peak there. I don't know if I want to climb any higher, because after this 6 minutes, which will pretty much take us to that peak, is 2 minutes to the airfield, which does seem to be down in a valley, so we're probably very high. And I don't want to get higher because then I have to get lower and it'll take longer. So let's hope we sneak our way over this peak here, or go around it. We do have the ability to move left and right. Just in awe of the graphics of this, it looks like a Bob Ross painting. The Mist. The only thing annoying me is this line thing going on. Goes along here, but hey, can't have everything. I do wonder if that's new, because I don't recall having that problem in the past, but then it might be just a problem in the mountains. Something to do with the way the satellite or aerial photography is stitched together. It makes a weird line at the horizon. It's not actually the horizon though, is it? So that's the horizon there. Yeah, no, even if you go for the curve a little bit, it would have to be a massive curve, and although the Earth is round, it's not that round. So I don't know. Don't know what that line's all about. Some kind of graphical glitch. How are we doing? 3 minutes of 6 minutes. There is a river at the other side of this peak. So perhaps that is the Lech. The Lech, perhaps. L-E-C-H. An old Austrian river. We've ended up gaining a bit of height anyway. We're going to make it over this peak. No problemo, I reckon. I'm going to sneak to the right a little bit anyway, just to be sure, just to be certain, just for peace of mind. We've had enough disasters on this bush trip so far. Let's get back to some form of stability. There's the river. There's the river. We've got another 2 minutes to go. But I'm guessing that's the river. In fact, the airport's on the river, so looking at the next turn will be slightly to the left. Yeah, we're heading down this valley. The airport must be behind this hill somewhere. But we've got to finish this segment first and arrive at the lake. In fact, that probably means it wouldn't be a bad idea to trim down some more and actually start descending a bit. Because I think we'll be landing at the level of that river. And like we could do with even more. There we go. Oh, look at this town on the river with the sun just hitting it, lighting it up. And it looks like a postcard. We got 1 more minute. 1 more minute. Like, we're basically turning at this little town, this beautiful little town. I think we can even trim down even more. We're picking up speed and gaining height again, which was not what we need. We want a nice, smooth descent. Another 30 seconds or so before we're meant to turn. I'm going to wait till we're over the town, because if I were to turn now, I'd be going through that mountain. I'd rather go through the valley to find this. I say airport, but you've probably guessed already, it's just a grass field. Which, on the picture, I can barely see where what actually is the runway, what is a bit of taxiway or what. I don't know, there is a bit of concrete there, but it's certainly not the runway. So there's some and it does say it's a grass field, so a grass runway. So we're not landing on the concrete, but then I'm not sure what part of the grass we are landing on. It's the way of these little runways. So I reckon we turn now 52 degrees for 1 minute 55. We're off to Hofen. Head northeast and land at Reuter Hofen Airfield, LOIR, a grass airstrip surrounded by lushly forested peaks. Definitely want to drop out of the sky now. Right, maybe not that much. We're into the yellow. So we want 52 degrees. I've just been heading off a little bit this way. I think it must be this here. In which case we are, as always, way too high. Let's do this. Let's actually trim back to do that so that we're not fighting the aircraft completely. Does that... yeah, there is... yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. Showing up on here. Yeah, definitely that's it. Right next to a straight bit of the river, which is certainly not naturally occurring. They've apparently straightened the river there so that they can have a runway next to it. Definitely way too high still. We'll S our way there. There is probably a name for this maneuver. I'm sure there is because we learnt it. Well, I learnt it when I was... but I don't remember. Was it Essing? I don't know if it was called Essing. Something like that. Something like that. It wasn't corkscrewing. Still think we're a bit high. Might just do a corkscrew then. Come on, we need to be much lower. Much. Look at the valley there and its light and its little football field. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. What's not so beautiful is this quarry on the side of this beautiful mountain that has been now got a gash in it. Not great. Not great. How's that looking? How am I looking? I'm looking good. Okay, let's see how that looks. We're going too fast. So it's the answer then is it does not look that good. We're too high. Or are we? Yeah, I think we're too fast. We're too fast. I think we need to do a bit of this stuff. Try not to stall. Drop a little bit here. I think that feels a bit better. Oh, no, it doesn't. A little bit more. A little bit more. Don't stall. Don't stall. Okay. Bring it back round. Okay, have a bit of speed. We're good. We're Gucci. I know it looks weird. I know it looks weird, but this is how things work in my world. Gonna get ourselves onto the runway. Assume this grass is the runway. There's no real indication much. Let's try and get her down now. Come on, plane. We're relying on you. Come on. Come on. Stop trying to take off. I need your wheels on the ground, please. We're on the bloody taxiway now. Get our back wheel down. Try and get the brakes on. Don't know what's going on there. Alright, let's try and get back on the runway. We're down slowly. Very carefully. Very carefully. I'm not a fan of landing this plane. It's not easy. It's when you've got two wheels down, you can't control it properly. And it goes all over the place. Apparently I'm not on the runway. So, we need to turn around then. Get back onto the runway. It's probably what, we've just gone off the end of it maybe? I mean, we've got an, it does register as an airport. Given that there are planes and a little car driving around, that's... Let's hope this registers. Oh, I thought it wasn't going to work, but it did. We were just somehow slightly off. I think it really needs to be more forgiving than that, but there we go. Especially when you can't actually see what is runway and what is grass. But we did it. We did it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for existing. Au revoir, goodbye.